Wanna play? Come to our yard. New Thought Media Network spotlights you. Saturdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Spirit Says Sing. Our stage is open for musicians, singers and speakers, visual artists. Shine with us, live. It's easy, just click the link in the comments and be ready to soar. Spirit Says Sing. Saturdays at 6, right here on New Thought Media Network.
Check it out. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern. A healthy dose of Jersey Girl wisdom. Live with Rev Jersey Girl. Sponsored by New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And good morning, Godling. Welcome to the present moment, and thank you for your precious attention. It is your host, the New Earth Monk, Diego Reyes, here for another episode of Spirit Says Sing, here on a Saturday night, here on New Thought Media Network. A little bit of conflicts are going on around here back in the studio. Tonight I was anticipating having a co-host of our wonderful leader and founder of New Thought Media Network here, Reverend Robert Brzezinski, was going to be joining me, but I think he had a little accident at the dog park this afternoon, and he's not feeling well. He sent me a little note, asked if I could cover everything tonight. So we're going to run along with the show, have some good time. I got some great people to introduce you to this evening from co-creators, Convergence. We got them waiting back here in the studio. I'm going to play an intro and then another little song, and we're going to get started. The banner, the link is in the comments down below. Click it. Join us here in the studio if you've got anything you'd like to sing or a story to tell, or you just want to meet some great people. Come join us here on Spirit Says Sing.
takes everyone, everyone, everyone to make a world with a little more love. Little more love. Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter where you come from, gender or race, spiritual beliefs or orientation. Everyone has got the same motivation. Love is love, the same situation. Give love and help one another. In this world, there's only each other. One blood, the human race. If you feel the same, let me hear you say.
Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes to a world with a little more love. Little more love. Oh yeah. Say everyone, everyone. Say yes to a world with a little more love. Say yes to a world with a little more love.
And just say yes. Oh, that's wonderful music by Patricia Bahia. I started the show out today with that song because last week, if you were watching, you will know that Patricia Bahia was my guest co-host, and she debuted her new video right there that we just played. But I had a little bit of technical difficulties back here and had some glitches in the video. We finally did get it on again by the end of the video, but I wanted to start my show out tonight with just saying yes, with a world with a little more love. If you'd like to learn more about Patricia and her music, let me see here. Oh, yes, I do have a banner ready to tell you all about Patricia's website there. Go feel free to visit it. I want to welcome everybody here to Spirit Says Sing on another Saturday evening. I'm your host, Diego Reyes. I want to welcome, we got some guests waiting for us here in the back of the studio. I'm going to bring them on here in just a second. Got some folks out there viewing in already saying hello. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Everyone, please share the love, share the video, share this broadcast with all your friends on your Facebook page. Share the show and invite everybody to come join in the studio to sing a song with us. We're looking for all sorts of performing artists or anybody that really is looking for a stage. If you have a message, if you have a song, if you have a joke to tell us, click the link in the comments below and we will put you on the stage here in just a second. And make sure that that is still up there and looking good. Yes, there's my post right there, making sure that it is all looking good. In the comments, if you hear any problems, you hear any audio problems or issues, please also do let me know, and we can work on that. Well, right now, first, before we go any further, I would like to introduce to you some very special guests that I have back in the studio with me this evening. Creators of a group called the Co-Creators Convergence. These were wonderful people, were actually some neighbors of mine when I lived at a community called Sunrise Ranch. We were neighbors along with Barbara Marks Hubbard, and these guys are still carrying on her message, making sure that it gets out there to all the public. And I'm actually been kind of chatting with them about, they do a Thursday evening Zoom call every week, so I was thinking, hey, that might actually be a great New Thought Media show. So I'm kind of invited them on here to Spirit Says Sing, to experience a little bit of New Thought Media and how we run things around here. So be sure and send them a lot of love. Welcome to the stage, Noel and Bob. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh, looks like you're on mute. Let me make sure. Oh, there we are. Hey!
We're talking to ourselves.
What's going on, you good-looking folks?
Well, we're extremely blessed and thankful to be here with you tonight. What's going on with New Thought Media? And as you said, Co-Creators Convergence was started in 2013 by a group of Barbara Marks Hubbard's. Some of you may remember that in 2012, December 21st, 2012, there was a lot of doom and gloom about December 21st, is the world going to end? And so Barbara Marks Hubbard, who is engineering conscious evolution, has a foundation for conscious evolution, She also ran for Vice President of the United States in 1984. Just an amazing teacher. She was a teacher of ours. And she said, why don't we forget that December 21st and declare December 22nd, 2012 as day one of humanity. So ours, we said, okay. And so they established with Stephen Dinan of the Shift Network a whole year's effort called leading up to December 22nd, 2012. And
it's called Birth 2012.
Yeah. So Bob, tell them what we did.
So Birth 2012 was this movement to acknowledge that if it kind of stealing from the headline that the world's going to end on December 21st, Barbara declared, why don't we declare that the first day of the new humanity is December 22nd, 2012. And it's our job, that is ours, everybody in humanity's job, to decide what that new age of humanity looks like. How we're going to treat each other, how we're going to treat Mother Earth. And so this Birth 2012 year culminated on that weekend, December 21st, 22nd, in LA at Agape International Spiritual Center, which Diego is very familiar with.
We actually were there.
I think that is the very first time we actually crossed paths. I don't think we realized it at that time. It took us years. It took us years before we realized that. Oh, we were right there together. We were. we do come from the same batch.
We were dancing in the same room that night.
That's right. That's right.
That was good times.
Yeah, it was a great time. And Barbara Marx Hubbard, she asked, there are about 35, 34 of us, 35 or 40 of us studying with Barbara Marx Hubbard for the whole year leading up to that. And Barbara said, what is your gift to the shift in humanity? And that time, we were living in our RV, and we had just started on this spiritual conscious evolution path.
Our awakening.
Yes. And we said, well, we don't know. We're just like living in the RV down by the river. And then Spirit said, well, you're supposed to go to all 48 states and tell them about Birth 2012.
Ooh,
so we did that. So in 5.5 months, visited all 48 states and 4 provinces in Canada. And Bob put on some miles, didn't we?
Yeah, we drove 20,214 miles in a set of tires on the truck and the RV. And we showed the Barbara's movie, one of the 2 in her series called Humanity Rising. We would just show up someplace, whoever would accept us whenever they'd accept us, and would pop the DVD into the player, hit play, and watch the movie with whoever assembled, and then sat around and had conversation about Birth 2012. What is conscious evolution? What is your gift to the shift? Those kinds of conversations.
Oh, I know that had to be full of energy. I know that had to be a great conversation to be involved in.
Yep, we were.
It was amazing.
It was 93 stops in 5.5 months, and we met 2,000 people along the way that are just amazing people doing amazing things in the world.
Wow.
Right.
One of those places we stopped was Sunrise Ranch.
That's right. Where
September
we got to reconnect, I guess.
Yeah. So we showed the movie there.
We showed it there. Let me see, twice. We were there 2 different times, so they invited us back. And where do we go?
Well, we had been traveling across the country, and we were on the Birth 2012 website with our locations where we were going to be. And folks from Sunrise called us and said, we see you're coming up through Colorado. Why don't you spend the night here, show the movie, which we did. And then because our next stop was 3 days away, but it was only an 1.5-hour drive. So we up in Cheyenne. So we ended up spending a couple of days there. And then in January, after we were dancing with you at Agape on December 22nd, we were invited by folks at Sunrise to come back and hold an event there in the summer, Memorial Day of 2013.
Yeah, that was because Humanities team was giving Barbara an award for Spiritual Leadership Award, and she was selected. And so that was going to happen. And so Sunrise people called us up and said, well, why don't you have a retreat? And then at the end, Barbara can get her spiritual leadership award. And we said, well, we're sorry. We don't know nothing about doing a retreat. And we've never done that before. Like I said, we're just waking up. So they said, no, you probably could do it.
Throwing your head into the thick of the fire there.
Right. So we said, well, we're going to get some help of some other people we met along the way. So we did. We enlisted Reverend Marcia McCartney, a CSL minister from Florida that we met. That's where we started our trip out from.
Unity minister.
Unity minister. And Linda Rosenthal out of Indiana, beautiful, beautiful soul, master Reiki teacher, and Rhonda Victoria Freeman of the Vistar Foundation. So the six of us put amazing event together. It was supposed to be like a one-off, and everybody said, no, you got to do this again next year. We said, we do? They said, yeah. So we did it for, well, last year would have been our 8th year, but
wow,
COVID kind of put
the... Mother Nature had something else on that. Yeah, some other ideas.
Right. So we actually made a little video of the of our whole journey.
Is it the one that you shared the link for YouTube?
No, that's a different one, but that one does tell about the co-creators. I don't know if Bob can find that other one quickly and get it for you. It's
sure.
2 minutes. Actually, it's a music video.
Fun. It's a music video. Well, I'll find it for you while you're chatting.
Okay, and right now, let's take a little look at what we've got here about the co-creators convergence.
Oh, okay, great.
Can everybody hear that?
When two hearts come together, it's greater than the sum. And when two and more are gathered for the same, we call upon the courage from somewhere deep within. And we realize dreams for you and I stand for integrity and stay the course with me. Can you believe in something far greater than yourself? Will you receive the magic of its love? There's a tidal wave of passion that yearns to be fulfilled. Now be still, feel the power of goodwill. Stay the course with me.
Can you believe in something far greater than yourself? Will you receive the magic and its charm?
There's a tidal wave of passion that yearns to be fulfilled. Now be still, feel the power of goodwill. Something far greater than yourself. Will you receive the magic of its love? There's a tidal wave of passion that yearns to be fulfilled. Be still, feel the power of goodwill. Be very, very still. Feel the power of goodwill.
And ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the Co-Creators Convergence. Oh, how wonderful is that, guys? You're really doing a great job keeping that message alive and sharing it with the world. I love to see everything you guys put out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Diego. That was we this past Thanksgiving. We didn't have Thanksgiving. We had Friendsgiving with our group, and so that was just some of the pictures
Yeah.
from years past.
What a beautiful keepsake and memory for everybody that was part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank
then Jim Eaglesmith, he was also in our group. He's the one that wrote and composed that song.
Right.
Oh,
So-
beautiful. Oh, thank you for giving him credit, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a couple of other people here in the studio that I've wanted to introduce you to.
Wonderful.
Now, the first person that I wanted to introduce, well, was a guest on one of our shows. I believe it was the Cosmic Prayer. Was it not, Vicky?
Yes, it was.
This is Vicky Jeter, who is a perinatal educator. Did I say that correctly, Vicky?
Partially. It was a good try. A pre and perinatal educator. Prenatal being gestation and up to birth, and perinatal being birth and just after. I am also a CSL practitioner of 30 years. I noticed your guests are related to Centers for Spiritual Living, so we have a resonance there.
Yes. Oh, isn't that great news? Yeah, and I wanted to introduce all of you guys. I really wanted to connect you guys. Well, of course, here at New Thought Media, we network. We love to network. And on my show, I really like to spotlight everybody's gift and try to connect folks. So I remember during the show, you had talked about conscious creation, was it not?
Yes. And with my emphasis on conscious co-creation, I love and I teach conscious co-creation of everything, but my focus is the pre and perinatal period, because as humanity, the more we can begin to understand that creation of a human being begins at the very beginning and even before. In conscious co-creation, you can begin consciously setting your goals to conceive and create that relationship with the being even before conception takes place. And generally, our society doesn't know anything about the reality that the essence of a being and the consciousness that is embodying into the physical body that develops during gestation is available at every point along the way. Everything that's happening, the impressions about the environment around, what is going on in the world around the mother, all of that is setting impressions that become the foundation for what we actually believe about ourselves and about the quality of the world that we're coming into. And so that's where I'm starting from with that.
Yes. Oh, that's great. And that's exactly why I thought, boy, I need to hook up Bob and Noel with Vicky. I think that they would be great team. They would be great together. So I wanted to introduce you guys this evening. I had mentioned it a little bit earlier, just a second ago, that Bob and Noel, I'm aware that they do a Thursday night Zoom call every week. So this past week I had the idea, and I'm kind of using this show as to introduce Bob and Noel to New Thought Media and StreamYard, what we used to make all our broadcasts. I'm kind of using this show to introduce them. I was planning on introducing them to Rev Robert tonight, but he's had a little difficulty, so he wasn't able to join us. We'll have a big meeting with him later on. But I thought the two of you, I really wanted to connect to get to know each other. And allow me to introduce another guest we have here in the studio tonight. One of our newest, producer here on New Thought Media. Sekou, how are you doing today?
Hey, Diego, I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
Sure. Oh, of course, anytime. What's been going on in Sekou's world?
Well, I'm producing, as you say. I'm working on Rev Melissa's show. So she's got two shows. She's got SIP, which is daily, Saturday. Monday through, I should know this, Monday.
Actually, you should hold on.
Then also on Sunday. And then she has another show called Living Life in Joy, which is on Wednesdays. So I'm the producer for those two shows, which are on the network here.
Oh, and we so appreciate all your help. As a matter of fact, let me play a little promo that we've put together for Melissa and Sim. Let's see what it's... And hey, what do you know about that? Look at
Very
that. There's
true.
a little morning sip every day for you right here on New Thought Media Network.
That's right. Thanks for the backup. I appreciate that.
Oh, you got it, my man. We're all family here. Deeply we are one. Isn't that our motto? All right, guys. So what do you think?
You talking to us?
I'm talking to everybody. Anybody out there listening?
We're sitting here wondering whether we have met Vicki before. And so you're with the CSL in Louisville, Kentucky?
Yes. And prior to that, I actually hailed originally from the Center for Spiritual Living in Houston, Texas, North Houston side with Reverend Dr. Jesse Jennings.
Oh yeah, we know Jesse.
I served with Jesse for 17 years. I was his original homegrown practitioner.
Oh,
So,
wow. We love Jesse.
When were you there last?
Well, actually, I used to go back to Houston about every month because when I left there to come to Louisville, I said, I'm not going to let these relationships deteriorate. So I happened to be blessed to work for United Airlines at the time. And so I could get home back to Houston on a regular basis. Now, because of COVID, I have not been able to go back to Houston. I haven't been since March. We were actually there, though, last February, a year, almost exactly a year from this weekend. My husband and I met there on Valentine's Day in 1995. And so we were back there in February. That's the last time I was home to see Jesse.
Well,
but there's just all kinds of resonance here. I mean, we could talk.
That's where we recognize you from,
Right.
because we would go for probably the last 6 years. We have been in Houston. Our daughter and grandkids live in Jersey City,
Yeah, near Jersey City.
Jersey City in Houston, and
he calls it the Center for Creative Living.
yeah, Creative Life.
Creative Life Center.
Right,
Creative
and so
Life Spiritual Center.
we went there on Wednesday nights. We were
Wednesday
probably
nights.
there last February because we left Houston. We left Houston March 20th to come here to Tennessee. And but we have been going to the Wednesday night things, particularly, although been to some there over the last 6 years.
Yeah.
In the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
that's my recognition.
But then also, were you in Louisville in 2012?
In 2012.
Because we stopped there and did a presentation in Louisville, and her name, minister there was. I think she was Asian or Hawaiian.
But that was the Unity Church there.
Susan Ong.
Maybe
that was.
Yes. She was the main minister for Unity of Louisville. A big.
Yes. Beautiful building.
Jewish star at the top of the dome.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a presentation there.
That's Reverend Susan Engpool. And so we were not there when you were there. But we have many things we could talk about for sure.
Oh, I have a feeling too. I thought that as soon as I met you the first time on Cosmic Prayer.
That's wild.
So
we had a lot of CSL friends. Of our 93 stops on our Birth 2012 tour, 25 of them were CSLs, 12 were Unity churches, and 2 or 3 were Unitarian Universalists. And then there were a bunch of other places.
Retirement home,
art centers,
barn. Outside, in our RV, many places.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when we started out on that tour, we started out with Reverend Peggy Hustetler in
CSL
Ocala, Florida.
Yeah.
And that was, we knew a Center for Spiritual Living, but we knew nothing else. We did not know what a Unity Church was. Did not know what Unitarian Universalists were. And that was the only Center for Spiritual Living. And the only reason we knew that was from our time at Agape with Reverend Michael Beckwith. He used to be kind of part of that.
So do you know Peggy?
My goodness. I'm so glad you saw the look on my face. You guys aren't going to believe this. Reverend Peggy is presently my huge mentor for me. She and I are working together to maximize my potential to transform my experience of cerebral palsy into no longer expressing disability of any kind.
Yes. I'll affirm that.
She's a teacher. She's a teacher for Centers for Spiritual Living Ministerial Program. I'm in ministerial school. And after my first class with Reverend Peggy, I just really got tapped on the shoulder. I had been looking for someone to be holding my field for the whole process. And so she's my teacher and she's my mentor. She and I meet once a month right now. We have a commitment.
We just saw her like 2 weeks ago. They had her as a guest, and we watched the Zoom service for a CSL. Now it's called CSL Ocala.
Right. And so when you see her, tell her Noelle and Bob send our love.
Yeah.
Because
I will.
She was like the one that we would not have done the tour if it hadn't been for Reverend Peggy.
Yep, she touched the match to it.
We said we don't really know. We got this message. We're supposed to do this, and we don't know anything about any of this. And so she says, "Well, I'll write you a letter of introduction, and you can send that. And anybody can call me." And gave us some names of
CSL
some people.
Atlanta with CSL Birmingham. And off we went.
You should get Reverend Peggy on the show. She is amazing.
That
definitely
might not be too hard to make for sure. They're all very excited about Laura's show too. Laura Topper, the
Cosmic Prayer.
So who knows what will happen.
Mondays at 11 Mountain Time.
I have to say, I'm just too curious though, because I so trust in phenomenal waves of synchronicity. Our other guest here, there must be some way that your presence weaves into all this. I would love to hear a little bit more of your story, because the Spirit doesn't miss, and there's got
Amen to that.
Got to be something going on there.
That's I think they're addressing you
with location. Someone said Tennessee, right? Did someone just say that you guys are in Tennessee?
Bristol, Tennessee.
I'm in Nashville right now.
Look at that.
I live in New York. I used to live in Jersey City. I think you guys mentioned Jersey City too.
That's where our daughter lives right now.
And my parents right now are in Hernando, Florida, which is an hour outside of Ocala.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of physical connections I see already.
Yeah.
But aside from being the producer on the show, I'm here tonight because Diego asked me to come on to promote a film that I created as a short documentary film. It's called Test Driving My Black, and it's going to be shown on the network on Tuesday. So I'm here to promote my debut. In front of the camera on this network.
Very excited about that.
I saw the promo. That's the promo piece before when we were just.
Yeah, right at the beginning of it. I was just thinking, why don't I play that again, just in case anybody wasn't actually tuned in. Let's take a look at what Sekou's going to be bringing to us here soon. And there we go. That's pretty exciting. That's going on 7. What day was that again?
It's on Tuesday. This coming
Tuesday.
This
23rd.
Definitely have to be sure and tune in for that.
It was really great.
What time zone? 7 p.m.
Well,
is that 7 Mountain?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern.
Gotcha.
There you are, guys. Tune in here for a little.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. I hope we get to share it after that.
Yeah, so we're doing a one-time screening, so it'll only be then, and then we'll circle back and do something else later. So this is you got to be there to see it situation.
Got to be there too.
Yeah. Good thing you're making this connection tonight, because you'll know somebody that really those are the find out. I see. Yes.
We're doing a class actually on Tuesday evenings for the 4 weeks. We're doing a class on racial equity and social justice. It was inspired by YWCA in Knoxville. And but it's from 7 to 8:30, and so we'll be able to be there at 9 o'clock Eastern for your
That's
thing.
great. And that's right in line with your class. That's great.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So cool.
Looks like we're all changing the world. What a family.
Yeah, that's the second of a 4-part series that we're doing. One we did last week was on voting. This coming up, it's going to be on education. Then we're doing
public health, and then
public
the fourth
health
week
and
is
criminal justice
reform.
Oh, great.
So
Fabulous.
we're not the experts.
Maybe
we're
we'll
students.
actually get it on New Thought Media,
Yeah.
a rebroadcast or something on New Thought Media.
I think that sounds like a very good possibility.
I mean, this is Black History Month. Let's
That's
get
right.
it.
We got to represent as much as possible.
We're not
Right.
we're not the teachers of it. We're students of it, and we're learning with whoever wants to come along in the journey, and we learn from others that participate in the dialogue. So
Yeah,
it's great.
it's a lot of video shorts put together with the conversation afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, that is just fabulous. Yeah, I think there's a great possibility of that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to ignore, I see that we've just been joined by somebody new here in the studio. Michelle, welcome to Spirit Says Sing.
Hello.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay. I'm sorry for arriving kind of late.
Oh, not at all. This is a very open form show. I invite people throughout the whole show to come on in. If you have something you want to meet us, you want to say something. Hey, you got a song you want to sing us?
Wasn't prepared for that either.
Tonight is kind of an off night. I'm not really all that prepared for it either. But I wanted to welcome you on to the show and say thank you for tuning in.
Okay. Glad to be here. Yeah, I definitely came because of the music aspect. I'm a songwriter, somewhat timid one, but and I've heard y'all talking about CSL, so I'm a science of mind practitioner.
Fabulous.
More
connections.
The spiritual community I'm with now is Temple Hayes First Unity in St. Pete. And she considers herself bi-spiritual, so it's unity and Centers for Spiritual Living.
Ooh, I like that.
But so anyway, so that's part of the connection, and I've usually played the songs that I've written with the different communities, spiritual communities I've been with, but this one is a bigger one, and one that I joined not long before the pandemic. So I haven't really, had that musical connection with them so much.
Right, a little bit challenging in this day and age, for sure.
Well, and before the pandemic, I thought, well, it'd be nice. It's nice just to be out here in the audience for a change and just immersing myself in the music and sort of holding up this part of the sky over here,
yes.
And embodying it, from that standpoint. And I was really loving it, but you sort of, just when I was kind of about to step up, then everything kind of fell apart, and now we seem like a very sort of distance, community in some ways.
That's true, and that's part of why I've brought this show about, is to help us try to stay a little more connected, even though we're all from different parts of the country right now. We can all connect right here on one location, and
Michelle, have you
the
been
Spirit sing?
Michelle, have you been in that area for a while?
I'm actually a native Floridian. I was born in Jacksonville and raised in Tampa. I lived in Georgia for about 17 years. This is where my children were born, but I came back, when I was in my 30s. So
we've heard about Temple's work there from our dear friends, Glenn and Marion Head. I don't know if their names are familiar to you. And they're part of the CSL in Kauai. And they travel the country. They spent a lot of time in Florida because Marion's mom's there. And they were very impressed with, I think they did some weekend retreats with Temple, with this combination of unity and CSL hybrid that she's working on.
Oh, she's absolutely amazing. I've had so many, and just recently a really big sort of synchronistic event, but there's so many times that she would, after her sermon, I'd want to say to people, I hope you got something out of that, because I feel like she was talking directly to me.
You're in Florida. You probably, because they tour in Florida a lot, are familiar with the duo Armand and Angelina. Have you ever heard of them? They do New Thought. They do New Thought churches all over the country as a singing duo.
They're based in Orlando.
And they're based in Orlando.
I may have, if I see them again, they might be familiar to me. But
Oh, you wouldn't
memory's not
You would
good.
never forget that.
Okay.
We're gonna, Dago, I'm gonna talk to Armand about coming on this show some Saturday night.
Oh, that would be fabulous. He's always welcome.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, this is such a free and open show. I broadcast out on Facebook and YouTube, and I invite I put the studio link right there in the comments. Come on, click the link and join me in the studio. That's how we got Michelle here.
Hey, wonderful.
That's right.
I think, Michelle, you're part of the co-creators Convergence.
I am. I
This is
joined
great.
Co-Creators Convergence because Barbara Marx is like my hero.
A lot of us.
Yeah, I recognize. Yes.
In fact,
Thank you.
I started to do the ministerial route with the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning, and I don't know, I kind of changed my mind. Again, it was right around the pandemic, and I thought, I don't think I need to start anything else. You know, I really have everything I need to
Right.
move forward.
I
I
can
don't need any more
understand that.
degrees. I don't need any more certifications. You know? I really just need to do, you know, just and be.
Well, you should know then, Michelle, that the other fellow here, Diego, lived under the same roof with Barbara.
Oh, really?
They lived in a duplex.
We shared a duplex together.
Yeah, but we were right across the street in our RV.
Yes.
Wow. The reason I brought up that is because I was asked in my interview to name the 3 authors that most influenced me. And I'm like, I had to take a little time with that. I wasn't really, but what I came up with was Barbara Marx Hubbard was right up there in the top 3. So,
Awesome.
Sure.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. Michelle, who were the other 2?
well, Ernest Holmes, and at the time, and naturally, right? And
Of course.
Fabulous.
it really is hard. You know, it just depends on the decade of my life, you know.
Right.
But I thought right now and for moving forward, it's definitely Barbara Marx Hubbard is number 1. I feel like all my songwriting and everything, the big why for me is the big evolutionary intent. You know, it's not only to evolve myself, but in doing that, we evolve the collective, right? So what else is there? You
That
know,
is beautiful.
that's
Well
the big
said.
why, you know? Yeah. so-
Yes.
Right.
Well,
And
look,
Elizabeth Gilbert was the 3rd with the Big Magic. the create. Do you know Big Magic, that book, or Elizabeth Gilbert? She wrote.
it's familiar. It sounds familiar.
Anyway, so
Very
she's
nice.
with the creativity sort of aspect.
Fantastic.
So enough from me. Sorry.
Well, we appreciate everything from you, Michelle. Maybe next time when you come on, you come and sing a song with us.
Do you do this regularly, or
Every Saturday.
okay,
Every
good.
Saturday at 6 Mountain Time, which will be you're in Central, so it'll be 7 o'clock for you, correct?
She's in Tampa. She's
That
East.
late,
Oh,
huh?
you're on East
You're
Coast. You're 8, yes.
Yeah.
Whenever you're here, it will always be the perfect now.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sitting here trying to think of some stuff to fill some time.
You want
I've got a
to
question.
go ahead, Suko.
No, I just had a question for you guys actually. So you've been around Ocala, and so do you know there's a drive-in movie theater there that I go to every time I visit my dad. And so I know you guys are playing a movie. Have you thought about maybe going to that drive-in movie theater to play your film? And my follow-up is, you said you've been playing the film outside. How have you been doing that? Like, how does that work? What are the logistics of playing a movie outside?
You said that's it.
We had our own projector, and you hook the computer up to, so we put the CD in the computer, hook that into the projector, and then play it on the side of the RV. Just need some white space,
It's very
you
cool.
know. And we had speakers, and it worked out. We haven't used that in a while. We'd have to dust it off, but we got domesticated about a year ago. Well, not even quite a year ago. Bob's mother transitioned, and she lived here in this home for about 16 or 17 years, and then we bought this home. So this is the first home we've lived in about a decade. And then right outside is our RV, and we have it rented out to a traveling nurse who's working at the local hospital.
Yeah.
So, so that, now, did you have another question?
Well, no, I was just saying that there's a drive-in movie theater in Ocala.
We never went to that
never
one,
went to
but
that
we got
one.
one right here in Bristol.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
What's the
yeah.
name of it?
In fact, we love live theater, and here in close to us is a wonderful theater company. What's
Waters Theater.
Barter's Theater, and because of COVID, everything was shut down. So they decided what they would do is they rented the local drive-in theater, and they did the Wizard of Oz on a stage
Oh, that
in
sounds
front of the
fun.
big screen, and then you could watch it, up front you could watch them on the stage if you were close enough, but then you could see everything on the stage, and then you tuned in on the screen, and then you tuned in on the radio. I said, I don't care what they're playing. I just have to go because that is so creative to keep the arts alive.
Really
And
was cool.
it was really cool.
They pulled it off they basically took two of those containers, ship containers, and they put those in front and then built a stage standing between the two of them. So they had a green room with those containers. And there were only 8 actors in the play. So that's a lot of characters to play with all those munchkins, but the Wizard of Oz. But they just did such a creative, and the space that was quote stage was probably 15 by 15 feet. But of course, it was on the drive-in theater screen as well. It was very creative.
It was so creative.
That's really great.
So we're just listening today on our hike to a podcast talking about how this time has been such an amazing creative time of how people have found other ways to do things that are important for them and creating other things. Some people have found this time their reflection time or their time to write their book or whatever. There's no question many people are struggling with huge challenges in their families and communities. But there also are people that are being very creative in ways to assist with helping their neighbors and their communities. It's quite.
Well, let me piggyback on that. So I'm, in addition to the other things that I do, I'm a playwright. And so I was working on a play at Fisk University right up until COVID. Like my play was the very last student activity at Fisk University before the school was shut down. And so I made a pivot, as everyone is doing, right? So I turned it from a play into a movie of sorts. We just took the archival footage of the play and premiered it online. So we weren't going to do anything with that footage originally. That was just so we could figure out what changes to make in the play. But then since we couldn't gather in the public anymore, we turned it into a film, like the same thing that they did with Hamilton, really, like, but on a much smaller scale, And so I've been really excited about that. And that's why I was tuned into talking about movies, because I've been trying to figure out other ways and places to show that film in this time period to keep the creativity going.
Have you seen these things where we saw it on the PBS NewsHour or something in Miami, where theater groups and whatnot are now doing theater in the windows of department stores. There's a street that's kind of like a place where everybody goes and hangs out in their boutiques.
I hadn't heard of that, but what a great idea!
And so they have restaurants that have set up tents, and of course down there it's warm enough. Not this week, but other weeks it's warm enough to be outside and eat. And so they've set up, food carts and things like that, and people stroll around and they can be a part. And the actors are doing things in the windows of these shops. And some of them are singers, some of them are acting, some of them are one-person plays or two-person plays, and they can, do the audio that the people can sit out front and have a cup of coffee and watch.
Oh, I gotta get some footage of this. I've got to share this with everybody.
Where is this again?
It's in Miami.
Oh, okay.
I think we saw it on NPR.
Yeah.
I have to contact Rev Robert, see if I can get a ticket for a flight down to Miami.
Well, you probably should.
Get tickets for everybody.
Hey, we're making a New Thought Media field trip.
That's right.
Hit the donate button now.
Right, I better put that banner on.
Yeah, you better put that banner
if you
on.
can help us out, please.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat to exchange different ideas, how people are still, able to get their art out there.
Yes.
Drive-in theater. So no, we never made it to the Ocala drive-in, nor did we make it. We lived 18 months an airport in Southern California, the Rubidoo Drive-In, which is very famous.
Yeah, we went to there.
To that one?
Yeah, we
We
saw Green
we
Lantern.
saw the Green Lantern. That's right.
Well,
we
that
did.
sounds like good times.
But right around here in Bristol, there's quite a few
Yeah,
drive-in
actually-
theaters. So,
Mhm.
you know, we're looking forward to them. You know, more theater at the live theater at the drive-in.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Very
Really cool.
Now, Sekou, you had talked about that film of yours that you had put together. Is that the one that I have pulled up here?
Oh no, so that's what we're talking about now is
What?
like an hour.
Oh,
Oh,
But I do a lot
can
of
you
different-
tell us a little bit about this?
Oh, so I've been in Nashville since COVID. I was here, as I mentioned, working at Fisk University. And then COVID happened. I decided to stay with my family and make sure they were squared away. And I volunteered at my mom's church. I volunteered working with the homeless, and that experience was very impactful to me. And then I created this brand to provide brand new clothing for the unhoused here in Nashville. It's kind of taken on a life of its own. And so this little snippet is about that, how it happened, because a lot of people in my life are like, how you doing what? How did that happen? So I created this film to kind of explain. So
Well, Sekou, if you don't mind, I'd like to share it with everyone.
yeah, go ahead. Knock-
we see it?
Wonderful.
Yeah. Is the audio coming through?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You have the power to make good choices that you will not later regret. Sekou writes, he's an example of someone who's learning to move in the rhythms of God's grace. While Sekou was here on his annual Christmas holiday visit, he accepted the invitation to serve here at Room in the Inn. And a simple yes transformed him and those around him. So due to the pandemic, Sekou decided to remain in Nashville and trust what was God doing in this season. How was God moving in his life? And so, yes, he was still making jewelry and hosting podcasts while he was serving in the Room in the Inn. But something happened during the Room in the Inn where his spirit was provoked in a new way. And it began to cause him to move in the rhythm of God's grace to serve those who are experiencing homelessness and those who do not have homes. And as Sekou began to do a number of different things to serve, he was called a hero. And so his acronym says, helping everyone reaps optimism.
Helping everyone reaps optimism. Isn't that a great acronym?
I am wearing the hero hoodie.
Sekou writes, decided to get involved by creating these wonderful Be a Hero hoodie. And he is participating by donating a hoodie to the drive. So each hoodie that is bought, he gives one to the drive. So you buy one, give one. Buy one, give one. So I bought one, he gave one, right? And I said, I want 10 hoodies to go to this drive. And I asked you, my tribe, to come on board with me so we could do this thing. And what happened?
We are going live to showcase our partnerships that have helped us come together to create our third annual Hoodies for the Homeless drive. Hey, Sekou!
I had this experience with the homeless right after the hurricane that you mentioned earlier. And I talked to this guy who survived the hurricane in a tent, which just really blew my mind and really reconnected me with gratitude. Like all the things I take for granted just really got real when he talked about trying to survive a hurricane in a tent. And so after that, I was looking for other ways to get involved with the unhoused community, as you say, here in Nashville. And I went to Black People Making Moves Nashville. It's a Facebook group. And Danielle McGee hooked me up with you, Pastor Smith, Reverend Darby. Shout out to both of them. And through me, they've gotten interested in you and your organization and what you're doing. So I got some stuff for you. So let's do this live. So first of all, we got this trophy for you. The trophy that says "You Make a Difference," presented to Jay White, Project Love Strong 2020, and it glows. Look at that. It glows. Right? You put that on your bed to be reminded of the good work you've done over the years that you've been here, starting from when you first got here, same year.
Yeah.
And that's for me. And from First Baptist, what's this?
Ooh.
What's this, Jay?
That could be one of the things.
So, on behalf of First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, I would like to present you live on Instagram with this check
Sekou, you're killing
for
me.
$1,500. Boom.
What a
Boom.
blessing.
Shout out to First Baptist. Shout out to Project Love Strong. They sending you love. I'm happy to be able to be like the Santa Claus.
You are
to
definitely
their gift.
was. I can't stop smiling.
I hope I'll be able to keep contributing. I know I gave you some hoodies for next year, and there's going to be some more hoodies coming in. I think I am going to do this year round, even though I just started it for just now. It's become a thing, so I'm going to keep rocking with it. You
Everybody's
keep rocking
with a hero hoodie. Everyone's gonna be walking around with a hero hoodie.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, I claim it. I accept.
Driving around Nashville and you're gonna see your hoodie. You're gonna be like, oh snap, I hate get my hoodie. You watch.
So big shout outs to First Baptist Church of Capitol Hill. They have ended my 2020 with the largest donation that PLS have received yet. And my brother Sekou presented me with this beautiful award, You Make a Difference, presented to Jay White, Project Love Strong 2020. I am still speechless, guys. Like, thank you so very much. Thank you. We will continue to keep pressing for 2021, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with First Baptist Church of Capitol Hill, and of course with our brother Sekou.
That's what's up. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. I see Lenora, my team captain from Memphis, just popped in. What up, Lenora? And thanks for the support. And we'll see you guys later. Deuces.
Right, later, Sekou.
Be a hero.
Yes.
All right, you're all going to love the announcement I'm about to make then.
Yes. Please do.
Sekou, we haven't told you about this yet.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me.
And I can't release all the names yet because we don't have the ink dry on the documents yet. However, there's movement to bring hero hoodies to Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
And
I
we're
want a hero hoodie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Diego, I got you signed up for 3. What are you talking about?
Yes.
And our initial working goal is 100 hero hoodies. Now, we might surpass that because I like to think big and I like to cast a big vision. And there's a lot going on in the background right now that you don't know about because we're trying to surprise you. So
I am surprised. I am very surprised. I appreciate it. Wow. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. My ears started burning. I heard something about
I know they had to be. I was trying my hardest.
I heard something about a field trip and airline ticket. So I figured I'd better check in.
We
I
had
had a feeling that might get you on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited that the man I wanted to introduce you guys all to, the founder here of New Thought Media Network, Mr. Reverend Robert Brzezinski. Thank you for joining us tonight, Rev.
Thank you, Diego. And thank you all for allowing me to bail out at the last minute. The last thing a show host wants to hear is their co-hosts say, guess what? I'm not making it tonight. So thank you all for jumping in and covering my fire and making this a great show. I haven't seen all of it. I'm going to take a look at it. But I'm sure you've done a great job. I'm looking at the smiles and everybody's smiling. So I'm trusting you all had a great time tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look at the Kathy's out there watching. Thanks, Kathy, for the comment. She loved the hoodies.
Thank you.
Now, say cool. If somebody wants to, how do I get myself a hero hoodie? Where can they go to?
Reverend Robert already got you. But
I mean for people who might be watching this later.
Yeah, for other people, there is a website. It's called GiveHeroHoodies.com. And that'll just take you to my website. And it really was intended to just be a one-off. I was trying to support the woman who you saw in the film. I was trying to support her event called Hoodies for the Homeless. It was her 3rd annual. And I was trying to donate 5 to 10 hoodies to her event. And as you saw, it just jumped up to 55. And then other people from other cities started volunteering to be involved. And so I just decided to keep it going through 2021. And apparently...
Thank you, Bob and Noel. Put out the... Bob and Noel have put in the comments the link to find these hoodies. Thank you so much, guys.
Team effort. I appreciate it.
See what a team we are.
We're working.
I didn't even know I was doing that. I just always share.
Well, see, you made a comment on the Facebook, and it came here into the studio, so I can put it up and take it down.
Very cool.
Very cool.
One of the nice little features I wanted to show you of StreamYard here for any co-creator convergence broadcast that we may want to do. And I want to say that I'm very honored and proud that Bob and Noel gave me permission to broadcast this onto their Facebook group right now.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So that's a lot of fun. Now, if you're making one thing I've noticed from doing these shows is that from groups and personal profiles, people that make comments there, they don't come into the studio. But if they make it from a page or from the YouTube page, I actually get them right here in the studio. I can pop them in. So, most of these comments that people are making that I'm putting on the screen are actually coming from the New Thought Media Network Facebook page, I'm imagining.
Oh, I thought I was on Co-Creators Convergence group page. Maybe I'm not.
But that's a group. See, it's not a page.
A group is okay.
Group's okay.
No, a group we can't get we don't get the messages from groups. We can only get them from pages.
We get them from everywhere. We can only send them to pages. We can't send.
Oh, do we get them here in the studio? I thought when I was looking at it that I didn't even see them in the studio.
We should get the comments from every destination. It's just we cannot comment into the group destinations.
So the people have to be watching live.
Yeah.
So we can reply to them.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I was in the group page. I thought it's on our Co-Creators Convergence page. Because, I've tagged some people and I'd like to get them involved.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we want to support you guys however we can here at New Thought Media. I really look forward to a nice connection here.
Nice.
And I want to thank all my guests tonight. When Rev Robert, as he was saying, sent me that message at the last minute that he didn't think he was going to be able to make it, I was like, oh no, he's the guy I wanted to talk about all the shows with. But you guys have made this hour just fly by so smoothly for me. We've already gone over in time. So I want to thank everybody for joining me, and anybody listening out there, be sure to tune in every Saturday night right here at New Thought Media, where we let Spirit Says sing, and we just let you take the stage and come on and sing a song for us. We didn't do much singing tonight, but whether you want to talk or you want to sing or you want to show a video,
it's been fun, Diego.
We're all about it here at New. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
You bet.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. I want to say thanks to everybody for joining me tonight, and we hope to see you next week right here on Spirit Says Sing. Visit our website, ntmedia.org, for more information.